Now I'd like to represent the presentation of my coursework, optimization of the number of buses on the road, part 2. It was performed by a student of group SA 32, Podlesna Lilia, and checked by Victoria Vysotska. So let's continue the other part, the first part with a diagram of cooperation. I present as a protected model in the form of the diagram of cooperation. The main feature of the cooperation diagram is the ability to graphically represent not only the structure of interaction but also all the structural relationships between the objects involved in this interaction. In contrast, the structural diagram of cooperation diagram shows only the relationship between objects that play certain roles in the interaction. On the other hand, this chart does not indicate the time as spare time dimension. The row as a sequence of interactions are themes can be determined using fraction numbers. On the other slide, you can see how the diagram of cooperation that describe a typical course of events can look like. Other diagram is a state diagram. The following figure shows the state diagram. This type of diagram is used to explain how complex objects work. The state diagram shows how an object moves from one state to another. So on this picture, there is a state diagram for modeling the operation of the design system. And the last diagram is deployment diagram. The deployment diagram shows the working copies of the program components. They are buses that belong to the transport company. And there is a picture with this deployment diagram. Research data analysis. To work on this coursework, the route number 10 of the bus city of Lviv was chosen. City Lviv, type of buses on the road, bus number 10, and fare 7 hryvnias. There is a route. All stops which are included during this route are on this slide. They are shopping center, King Cross, Leopolis, Hydrogans, Sokolnica bus station, and others. Current company, the name of it, features the road, city road, technical information. There is some technical information. For example, the path is 13.28 kilometers. There are 30 stops, and the length is 12.44 kilometers, and there are 28 stops. On this picture, you can see the route of the bus from the main station to King Cross Leopolis shopping center and entertainment center. There is a picture how it look like on the map of our city. On the road of the bus number 10 run all buses of the model LAZA 191. The capacity of such buses is 40 seats and the total capacity is of 100 people without taking into account of the driver and the seat next to him. According to the available information on the internet, the frequency of the bus is of the bus number 10 is 10-15 minutes. All press release data were entered from the ferret into the CSV file and entered into the spirit from the future processing in the Python programming language. Data for essays processing have been changed units from the measured distances in kilometers and names of stops in English according to the official translation. So on this slide you can see a road data included in the script. The next task is to calculate the main statistical rotation in the process. Minimum number of the passengers, maximum number of the passengers, average value of the number of bus passengers, medium, variance, and standard diversion. The following figure shows the result of the experiment about cost period. There from about figure we calculate that the minimum value of passengers on the bus is 0. The maximum number of passengers on the bus is 100 people. The range value of passengers is 60 passengers. Medium simple of passengers are 76 passengers. The variance is 780.63 and the standard duration is 27.9. The following key figure shows the full travel time of the entire route by one bus. Also, the time intervals of our coming of the way by one bus in minutes between each stops according to distance between them and turbulent. For the bird and bus capacity, we calculate the number of buses on the road that would maximize is the total number of passengers carried per flight. Shows the number of buses that is optional to maximize the transportation of people per flight and also shows the number of people. The next step is working with the road will be to work on weekends and weekdays as the number of passengers varies. This is was necessary to set the depends of and on the hour of the day for weekdays and weekends, including holidays, and calculate the optimal number of buses on the road for working days and weekends holidays. This diagram shows the optimal number of buses according to my general data according to the time interval on weekends and weekdays or holidays. Finally, we find the estimate for the mathematical expression and construct a confidence interval that will correspond to the confidence probably 0.8 for all flights per day. The result of the expression of the above fragment of the program code for calculation of the point estimation of mathematical expression to the first probably is shown. Also, there shows the number of passengers who were transported by each of 8 buses during the day. There is a graph of depends in the total number of buses and on the number of buses is shown. As we can see, with the increase of passengers, it is also necessary to increase the number of buses on the road for comfortable transportation of passengers without congestion of buses on the road. Conclusion. As a result of the road on this coursework was optimizing of number of buses on the road was introduced the theory of query system. The main characteristics of QMC are constructed. Also, the end result of the coursework is a program for analysis and processing of data on one of the roads of city bus of Lviv, namely road number 10, which runs daily from 6 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the evening every working day and on weekends and holidays. As a result of analytics, the bus load on the road was modeled. The main statistical characteristics of the process on the road number 10 were calculated, and the optional number of buses on the road was calculated, which would maximize the total number of passengers per flight. In particular, the development program allows you to calculate the optional number of buses on the road according to the prevalence spirit criteria for specific hours on the day, on weekends, weekdays, weekends, and weekends including holidays. The work is illustrated by a scientific number of schedules of passenger distribution. Their dependence of the number of buses, tables, and others. The program is relevant for future weapons if theirs. Thanks for your attention.